everybody. Yeah, just a quick bench update, page update, blah, 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 from the Model Officers Mess. Carl is with me because he's going to keep on top of the chat. I don't expect to be overly busy, I've got to be honest. Evening, Carl, you all right?
Yeah, not too bad yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Bubbling a bit today, but that's because I'm got myself all excited. Yeah, I don't expect to be busy. It's the Sunday before Christmas, so I should imagine anyone with any sense will be hunkered down in front of a fire with a nice cold drink of some description, and eating their dinner. So, but what I wanted to do before Christmas was to give you a bit of an update and to tell you where we're up to in the Model Officers Mess, what we've got planned coming. Obviously, our birthday bash will be next year, which we've got big plans for. Keep banging on about it, but in a position to start letting you know a few bits and pieces which are going on. So there's 6 of you watching right now. Please say hello.
Mike has said good evening from Scaly Models.
Well, evening, Mike.
That's the only comment we've got so far.
There we go. Not a problem. And like I said, if you're watching this on playback, great, not a problem. Give us a bit of feedback about what we've spoken about and what we hope to achieve next year. So let's crack on. We are going to whiz through it to a point as much as we can, just to not spend too much time here on a Sunday evening. So first of all, where are we up to on the bench? For myself and Carl, we've been obviously building the 148 P47, which has been nearly every week, which is quite unusual for us because we've been on like a car bonnet. So that's been good. Got some good viewing figures. We're at the point now where we're just starting to stick the last little bits together before we're going to get to primer. Not going to be doing anything more over the Christmas period because we've got something else coming up. The other thing I've been dealing with here is reorganising the room. Some pictures will go up in the mess and you'll be able to see what I've been fiddling around with. But it's a little bit more organised, a little bit more clean and workable.
You've been fiddling with your bits, have you?
I've been fiddling with my bits and putting my bits in order because some of them have got a bit out of order, to be honest. I've really put them in their place. So once they're in the place and I've got some dangly lights on them, the bits they behave. So it's all good. The other thing is, on just after Christmas, we're going to do a 7-day build of a 172nd kit, which is this one I just happen to have up my hand, which is the Curtis Tomahawk 2B 172nd from Airfix. It's a starter kit of some description, so not technically too difficult. But the idea is you don't have to finish it within 7 days. Just grab the kit, get involved, and basically enjoy some company over the Christmas period. I know you're going to have your family around and stuff, so you'll only be able to do what you can do. So that's cool. We may have some special guests popping in here and there to have a chat with us. We might not. It's all very loosey-goosey. So we've got that coming on. When does that start again, Carl?
We are, I believe, going to start it on the evening of the 26th.
There we go.
We'll continue to the evening of the 30th, and then we will take 2 days off for New Year revelations and New Year recovery, and we will finish the build-up on, I think it's the 3rd of January.
There we go. So, yeah, have a bit of fun. If you haven't got that particular kit and you've only just found out about it, but you want to get involved, come and watch us. We'll be live as much as we can. That's practical, which should be a reasonable amount. Come and have a chat with us, build along with us. And if you haven't got the kit because you didn't know, grab another 172nd kit and try and do it within the 7-day period. It's just for fun. No big deals. So that's what's been going on. Obviously, we've got our posts going up on the mess. Something I need to address to do with the mess, Model Officers Mess, is that the automations of accepting people into the group, because it is a closed private group, doesn't mean it's not open to anybody. It just means as long as they're of like-minded people, answer 3 questions and you're accepted in. There are some rules, obviously, of behaviour and all that sort of thing, as you would expect. But the automation side of Facebook has created a bit of a hiccup. It's not worked quite well as it should do. I think they've done an update and it's just basically kicked things.
Yeah, it's fallen over, hasn't it? So it's accepting people in randomly and
too much Christmas brandy, maybe.
Yeah.
So I fixed that, but obviously be aware the rules still apply. We do want you to interact as yourself, not as a business. While I appreciate if you are doing something as a business page or a professional page or something like that, I don't mind you sharing that. What I don't want to see is this is what I've been working on my bench and I'm also selling these products sort of post. It's not clever. And it's not getting around the rules.
If you do want people to come to your page, which we would love for people to migrate over, post a couple of pictures on the Model Officers Mess and tell people if you want to see more and a little bit more detail, please come over to this page. But please post a few pictures without a link to just to drag people away to another page to look at stuff.
Yeah,
give them the tease, and then say, come and have a look at the rest here.
At the end of the day, I work very simply on I want to help anybody in a similar position to myself. I am an owner of a very small business, almost niche business, you would say. And I've got this Facebook group and I want to advertise everything I do because I'm really like bubbly about it and all that. And I get it. But remember, it's a community in which you should be interacting in, not just trying to pull people out. So if you want to advertise your wares, drop me a personal message and have a chat with me. And if I can work a way around that, we can advertise, say, for example, a business that makes figures, let's say, I'll try and find a way in which we can do that, because I want to help as best as I want you to help us. So it's a two-way street at the end of the day. Is all I'm trying to say is I always try and treat people as I find them, and if they're of the negative side, then I just don't interact and goodbye. I'm just not interested. So be aware. I have chatted with somebody. Don't get me wrong, it's not like a big waggy finger and telling anyone off. It's not like that at all. I have spoken to one person, and obviously it got exactly what I expected back, which was yeah, no problem. Let me do this or do that, and yeah, not a problem. And like I say, if I can work it into something in which we can help your business, then we will. But it's not about, it's about the community. The community is about all of us, not one person. So I think I got the point across. But anyway, so we're gonna be tackling that over the coming months. I'm not going to do a big, if you joined the group on this month, then I'm going to delete everything from that month. I'm not doing any of that. There's no big stick or anything like that. It's just a case of gentle reminder. The rules are the rules. Please abide by them. If you don't abide by them, I've always had a very strict policy of I'll ask once, second time, it's goodbye. Thank you very much. Yeah. I don't muck about.
We have been joined by Dominic saying good evening, James.
Evening, Dominic. Hope you're well. So obviously, thank you is the other thing. While I round up on what we've been doing, I want to thank you so much for all the positivity and all of what you've done for 2024 in this group. Because obviously, as you know, I'm not going to bang on about it. Obviously, I've not been very well, but your support and everybody working, the admins working to sort everything out that needed sorting if it was anything to be sorted, but your behaviour generally in the group just leaves no work for the admins to do most of the time, so that's great. And all the personal messages and messages on the page that you sent me personally, I can't honestly tell you how much that has meant to me, so thank you so much. I'm on the mend. I'm not going to bore you with it, you already know. So we're looking forward to 2025. It's going to be a much bigger and more positive year than last year, but we've had to tackle the bits we've had to tackle because otherwise I wouldn't have been here the following year, so it's all good. But it just goes to prove what community that's been built up for me over the last eight years or so, and your support means everything to me. So loves and cuddles and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I think I've got all that out of my system.
Yeah,
So
I'll say as an admin,
hmm,
I've not had to moderate a post or delete a post for over 12 months.
yeah,
It's been a really good year. Like,
yeah, it is quite amazing. There's always going to be a drama of some description in the background, or maybe in a group or whatever. But we generally in this group genuinely just tend not to have any issues at all. And I think in the 8 years that we've been going, I think I personally deleted maybe 4 members in all that time. And what we're up to now, I think we're up to about 2,000, 2,500 members.
yeah.
It says everything that needs to be said. But anyway, so 2024 coming to an end. In many ways, thank you very much for that. But in others, thank you for all the work you've put in. The posts, the daily, weekly posts that I've been doing over all these years have gone a little bit slippery over this year, but I think you understand why. But all the posts are now automated, which is going to be super amazing because I didn't realize I could do that. So they're all set. They're all done. They're all done for 2025 already. Bar about half a dozen posts that we're going to talk about in a minute. But yeah, so everything's there. It's already set and going. And it's all good. The last thing I want to talk about for this year is remember that the winter coming build, group build, is still up and running. There has been a couple of entrants and stuff. I believe the reveal album is up. So if you finished your build, put a couple of pictures in there to say I did the build, la da da da. If you haven't done it, don't worry, because there's still till the end of January next year for you to complete the build. It doesn't have to be anything amazing, just something that's wintry or has a wintry effect. And yes, to answer a personal question from somebody, does that include winter in the desert? Yeah, doesn't have to have snow, just Santa Claus stood in the middle of the Sahara is a winter diorama as far as I'm concerned. That'll do me very much.
Santa in his combat
yes
clothes.
Yeah, combat clothing, not his combat thon. Anyway, with that image, we're going to move on to 2025. So first things I want to talk to you about is 2025 group builds. So I might be tasked because I've forgotten to do something. Or I did do something, but it didn't work. Anyway, so yeah, 2025 group builds. Now, this is something that's not been advertised because we've literally sat down and finished putting it together today. We've been talking about it as admins, and the first group build, which will be this one, which will be the assembly ships group build. You might think, oh, that's a bit odd. Starts just in the middle of this January, goes to the middle of April, and this was something that one of the admins come up with. So when the bombing formations went out on, or before they went out on their bombing raids, they used to assemble together, so they were in the correct structure for their flight over the channel or wherever it was they were going off to do the bombing. And they used what they called an assembly ship, which, as you can see by this picture, is something that's painted incredibly bright, so you can't miss it. So all the other aircraft knew where to go and gather and get into their formations, which I think is a great idea. So the original idea was actually a B-17 with a polka dot scheme, but I managed to find this, which is not a B-17. So I think it'd be safe to say that any bombing squadron may have had this thing. So it's going to take a little bit of research for you. There is amazing amount of different types of schemes, from polka dots to lines to some of the weirdest things you can imagine. So put a little bit of research into it. If you've got it, it doesn't matter. There's no scale. So, if you want to go mad and do a 1/32 whatever, then you can do. But I would suggest you to go small, 1/48 to 1/72, and then you can really knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
we've been
that's going
joined by Skullfish saying Merry
to
Christmas to
fish.
you all.
Merry
Thank you,
Christmas.
Skullfish. Merry Christmas to you all as well.
So yeah, the assembly ships is going to be our first group build of 2025. If you are interested in that, obviously the same thing applies as always with the group builds, is that we'll put a post up saying this is the group build. Underneath that in the comments, you're going to say I'm in, or yes please, or whatever phrase you want to say, just to signify that you're going to get involved. And then create an album. Take some pictures as you go along your build. Tell us what you've been up to, what your research found or whatever, and then a couple of pictures and a reveal album, and then the admins will make a judgment as what they think is the best build or the most interesting build, shall we say. It's not a competition as such. It doesn't matter whether your pilots have got bowed legs or the eyes pointing in different directions. It's not about that. It's about the effort you put in and research, whatever. So like our monthly, your best build, because we're all on different levels. So yeah, that's going to be our first one. I noticed we jumped up to about 11 people watching there. So if you are there, please say hello, get involved, because it's just know you're there. Then it's good. So our second group build. That's right. Our second group build, which will follow after this one, is a Vietnam one. Now this starts at the end of April until the end of June. Now the reason it starts at the end of April is because that's when the Vietnam War finished in 1975. So it's a special anniversary for the Vietnam War. We may have some assistance, shall we say, from Sprue Box and or a model manufacturing company with this. I'll have to keep you posted because I haven't got that confirmed yet. But there is something in the offing of which you may not be able to get anywhere else. So I'm working on that. I'm not sure I'll be able to pull it off, but we certainly will try. But because of the important anniversary of Vietnam, which is burnt into a lot of people's minds, it's a very important anniversary in which we should acknowledge. So that again is open to any scale, any sort of genre. So it can be figures, it can be vehicles, it could be aircraft, it could be just a diorama, anything you want, anything you want. And again, the same things apply. Is this post will go up, you pop it in comments saying, oh yeah, I'm into that, I'll do that. That signs you up, and then you just add some pictures, etc., as we do with all of our builds.
Yes. So before you move swiftly on, we've also been joined by Julian saying good evening all.
Evening, Julian.
Everyone is talking amongst themselves, just saying hi to each other. So
wonderful.
There we go.
So yeah, that takes us to the middle of the year. Effectively, that's three group builds going on in the first 6 months, which is a lot. So be careful, don't overdo yourself. I know there are other groups, other group builds. It is what it is. There is no pressure from us, but I'd like you to get involved if you can. Now, obviously, in amongst the first 3 months of the year is our birthday bash, which will mean you'll lose at least 48 hours out of your build. So that's something in which you need to take into mind. But I'm going to come back to that, but I had to mention that. So the third group build for the year will be science fiction puppets. Now, luckily, this is another one that's been asked for by an admin who happens to be here. So I'm going to let him explain what he means by that.
Okay, so sci-fi puppets. Basically, most of us are of an age where we used to watch science fiction programs on the telly that were puppet orientated. Now, there's plenty to choose from. There's Thunderbirds, Captain Scarlet, Stingray.
Mm-hmm.
There's loads and loads to choose from. So quite a broad spectrum of things to choose from. So yeah, that was basically it. Something that's science fiction that was in a puppet series or TV show or movie.
Yeah. So all of these group builds will have those pictures on the Facebook page with an explanation of exactly what it is we're trying to achieve with each build. The titles can be maybe a little bit misleading to a point, but it's difficult to try and create some interest without doing that. So don't worry, if you don't need to remember these things. They will go up around a month before each group build starts, and there'll be scheduled posts, so I won't forget to do them, and that'll all go fine. Now the next one is possibly the second most exciting thing I think that's going to happen for 2025 in the Model Officers Mess. Obviously, first for me would be our birthday bash, because how can you not get excited about that, right? But this is an absolute genius idea. Now, this was put together by a special guest, as well as an admin, who happens to be with me tonight. See what I'm doing? And a special guest will stay nameless for now, but he will raise his head some point in 2025 and confess that he was responsible for some of it. Yes. And if you're watching, you should have said hello by now, Graham. But anyway, yeah. So our next one and last one, well, not the last one for the year, because I'll explain why that is. But the major group build, second most exciting thing of 2025 for the Model Officers Mess is the styrene. Yeah, go on.
The styrene stitch-up build. So, yes, this one's going to be quite different. I don't think I've ever seen a group build like this before.
No, definitely not.
So the premise is you will submit your name that you are interested in this build. You will submit your favorite genre to build, whether that be armor, planes, sci-fi, whatever it may be, cars, bikes. And once we've correlated everybody's name, on the 30th of September, we will go live and we will draw your name out of a hat, a metaphorical hat. We will also then spin the wheel to see what genre of model you will build. Now, if the genre of model that comes up is your preferred genre, say armor, for instance, and an armor comes up, we will roll again until it gets to something that is not your genre. So you may end up building a car or a spaceship or an aeroplane. That is hence the name, the styrene stitch-up build. It's something to put you out of your comfort zone and make it so that you are building something you would not normally build.
I wonder, those that watching this, what they think of that, because I think it's a really insane idea, really good idea. And I'll be honest with you, what Carl has just said about it, if your choice of genre comes up, it'll be spun again. I didn't realize that was a rule, so I'm glad I got him to do it, to say it, because I didn't realize that. So yeah, so that's quite experimental group build, I think would be fair to say. Yes. And it really does take you, the members, to get involved and accept that might happen. Yes, it also might mean going out and having to buy a model that you might not have in the stash. But that's what you're sort of signing up to. But that's why we put it right at the end of the year. So what I would suggest to you is a couple of things. Is firstly, put a couple of pennies in a pot every week, every month, whatever, up until the beginning of that starts. So you've got a little bit of spare cash. A couple of pounds here and there should be relatively manageable for you, and you should be able to pick up something that you're going to need. The genre choices that we will have, we'll try and be as loose with them as we can, and we'll try and make it as wide-ranging as possible, so that way, the part of the idea is that you're being inspired to try something new, something different. Obviously, that links into the Sprue box and the inspiration boxes that I do in that business. And that's really key, because what Carl doesn't know is what I will do, a Sprue box, is I will try and select a few kits that are cheap for you to be able to get, so you don't have to hunt around for all sorts of things. There'll be a varied amount of bits and pieces. So there'll be some figures, some planes, some armor, some all sorts of different bits and pieces. But I'll also put together a couple of boxes of stuff that you can purchase if you want to, which then helps you. So, for example, do a diorama that maybe you wouldn't normally do or something. But they will be fully open and transparent boxes, unlike what we do normally in Sprue Box, where you sign up to something and we choose what we're going to send to you. So it's a complete surprise when you open the box. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to create that sort of stuff for you so that you can purchase them. Now, you don't have to do that. Not a problem. You can go into your local hobby store, and I would advise and support you to do that, because if you don't support your local stores, they will shut and they will go. So whichever works for you, more than happy to help. I'm not going to go out and buy hundreds of kits and have them all sat here and then go, oh, I haven't sold them. I'm not doing that. But I will create some sort of way in which we can assist you if necessary.
So because obviously these plans are evolving, I think it might be very well a good idea to actually do the live draw a couple of weeks before the expected start date. So
yes,
it gives people a bit of time to get that kit.
Yeah, I think
if they don't have something in the stash, to get that kit.
I think what we might do is we might draw it the month before, maybe, because that gives 4 weeks then. So that post will go up early. He says, reaching for the piece of paper to make a note of that, because he will forget.
So Julian is saying, I think the stitch up is a great idea. People may gain techniques that they can transfer to their usual genre.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. And we have been joined by Lewis of Model Making Truck fame, saying good evening. So good evening, Lewis. It's good to see you in the stream.
Evening, Lewis. So that's the aim of that particular build, is to try and stretch you a little bit out of your comfort zone. We were spitballing literally this afternoon, and I said to Carl, maybe if we put on the wheel something like, I don't know, let's say object source lighting as a part of what you have to do. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to do that on this particular kit, for example. It means it's quite open, so you might have something in the stash that you can use that for. But what Sprue Box will do is I will assist you with that. So if it's a technique you have no idea what to do and you don't know where to start, I'll provide you the support to do that. And by that I mean a physical something in which you can look at and understand.
Maybe during that stream we could do like a bi-weekly StreamYard session. People come and join in and say, I'm stuck doing this, what do I need to do?
Yeah, whatever, because there's lots of time to evolve this idea. You, the people, the members, are there to feed this back to us. So if you need that support, or you think that would be a really good thing to do, you can support each other, then we'll do that. If we can arrange it, we'll do it. But from the business point of view, for me, Sprue Box has got stuff in place already. Not in everything, but in some areas, and we are evolving that idea. So some of those things we can probably put in and help you with. And the honest truth, if there's something you're struggling with and you need help with, just call me. And if I haven't got the answer there and then, I'll go and find it and I'll give it to you. It's not a problem. I will support you all the way through from the start to the finish, 100%, because that's what we do. I wanted to just pop onto the comments, because while you were giving the explanation, there was a comment there I noticed about the sci-fi. Oh no, hello. You answered it already. There you go. Sorry.
In the background.
There you go. Cool. So hopefully you embrace that idea as a group. I hope you, as the Facebook group, you enjoy that sort of idea as a group build. I think it's very different and out there, as we like to be. And I'm really, like I said, I'm really looking forward to it, because I think that's going to be the second best thing of the year, definitely, without a doubt. And certainly a great way to finish. And talking of which, as you'll notice with that particular group build, it does finish on the 1st December. Now, I'm not planning a Christmas build. However, if you, the members, want to do a Christmas build from the 1st of December up until the end of December, drop a message. Someone put a post up, get everybody's ideas and thoughts on the process. We've got 12 months to organise something. Happy to do something if you want, or you can take that period off, because obviously it's a busy time getting ready for Christmas, etc. But yeah, so we'll see. Is that so? Technically, we've got 4 group builds, 5 really, because we've got one that's rolled over, so that's 5 group builds, and a possible 6th if you want. So that's going back to where we started a long time ago when we started this group, and we haven't been doing that for a little while. So let's, I hope, embrace the ideas, get right behind it as a group, get behind everybody and support everybody in what they build in, and ask them how they're getting on, etc., etc. That creates a bit more conversation, a bit more fun within the group, and maybe swap some ideas and all that. That would be great too.
Yeah, so Skullfish is saying, sounds fun and the most original idea for a group build I've ever heard of, or I've heard of ever.
Yeah, I honestly, the people that were in the room while we were doing this spitballing basically all went very silent when that idea was first muted, and all went almost simultaneously, oh, that's amazing, love it. So yeah, I think it's a really original idea and really cool idea. Talking about original ideas and cool ideas, obviously the other thing that's going to be happening in March next year is our birthday bash. So this year is going to be a little bit different in some respects, because we're going big, basically. So 14th of March, 48-hour challenge. As always, you can be a 1/48th kit if you want. You can be whatever kit you want. As long as it's not started on the day that it starts on the Friday at 8 o'clock, your time zone. So wherever you're in the world, 8 o'clock on the Friday, 14th of March is when you start. And you've got 48 hours to complete it. If you don't complete it, doesn't matter. I think you'll find we had 2 members this year that finished. I think that one of them finished the build literally about 2-3 weeks ago from March. No problem. More than happy for that to happen. It's not a competition. It's all about being involved and taking part in the event. And supporting each other through the event and raising a bit of money for a great charity, Models for Heroes, who will always be our charity that we support. What's different, I hear you all shout? Well, the first difference is this. It has its own web page now. I have gone out my way to make sure that this is a forever web page. I have bought the domain for this. It will stay a part of this group for as long as this group exists. Whether I'm here or not, it will always be part of this group. And as like I said to Malcolm yesterday, as far as I'm concerned, the chosen charity is Models for Heroes. We can, in at different times, maybe generate some charity money for other charities, but that's something that we might get to at some other point. But every year we will make the birthday bash Models for Heroes.
Yes.
Why we've gone for a website is because, as you can see at the top there, it's got all the information you need. It's got all the donators, it's got the timetable, it's got the hosts, it'll have all the links on there, it'll have the Discord links, it's got the payment, the donation links, all the auction information. An album may make you cringe a little bit, because that will be an album of all your finished work, which I'm going to come back to in a minute. And then the last one in there is the merch. Yes, merch is back this year, and it's going to be back with a vengeance. So brace yourself, because there's going to be some amazing things in which you can get your hands on. Now, I'm going to be totally upfront with you all right from the beginning. The way we're going to do it is we're going to go through a company that deals with all the merch. You place your order on their website through a link that we provide, and they take the money and they will post it out to you wherever you are in the world. We won't touch any of that at all. All we will do is we'll create the merch that we think you might want, and some you probably won't, but we will make as much variety as possible. And then once that's sold, they will send us a proportion of that sale and keep the rest for themselves. And the reason we're doing that is because it makes it so much easier for us. It makes it so much more available for you around the world, and we don't have a situation where some merch is ordered, paid for, but not actually collected, or the money that's coming from the donator who's buying the merch from them or whatever. I don't want a situation where I fall out with people. I don't want the guys that are helping me really help. I don't want them working for nothing for weeks on end trying to pull this stuff together.
It's a logistical nightmare as well, getting this stuff
Yeah.
to not so much far afield, but into Europe.
Yeah.
Even
and
just
also,
around you getting it posted around the UK, it's difficult. So if someone's dealing with that, it takes a lot of stress off everyone.
And also just bear in mind that obviously the way the postage is at the moment, and has been for the last 12, 18 months, it just fluctuates so much. So if you've got a company that sends a file to a business, let's say in Australia, and they print and post it internally within that country, it's got to be a lot easier for them that way. Certainly a lot easier for us, but also a lot more guaranteeing that you're going to get your stuff. So, the last thing I want to do is make a mug and someone in Australia buys it and I have to charge them 40 quid to send a £10 mug the other side of the world. It makes no sense.
Yeah, that arrives broken.
Yeah. So that's why we've chosen to do it that way. It makes it a lot easier. But the joy with that as well is that opens up a world of merch that we wouldn't possibly have even thought of, let alone entertain. So with that in mind, I will be putting a post up just after the Christmas break asking you, is there anything particular in the merch side of things that you want to see or you would like? And I when I say this, I mean it as zany as you want it. If you want a pair of 48 and 48 briefs,
or a shower curtain,
whatever, we will try our best to do it. It's
Dieter has joined us, saying good evening. Evening, Dieter.
Evening, Dieter. So and then what we'll do is what I'm planning to do. So again, being transparent, Carl is my artwork and merch man. He's doing it all. Sounds like a really long, laborious job, and he will make it that, because he'll be very, very anal about how he makes the artwork. But he'll put that all together, and as soon as we've got it together, it will go live on the web page, but also with a link on our web page. So we'll list as much of the stuff we can on there, as pictures of what you want and how much it is and all that sort of stuff. And you can click on it and it will direct you directly to the people that are going to make it. And then you can go through that internal shop within their website and buy whatever you want, sort it all out, job done. But it will be on our web page, which will be this. So it's really easy. It's www.44-44.org, and that will always be forevermore our web page for this event. That's how it's going to be. So yeah, the merch is really super important. I mean, obviously, I've still got my hat there, my apron just behind me from a year ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. Year ago.
We didn't have merch last year.
No, that's right. So yeah, so it's really fun. It's really fun to be able to sit on the stream or have pictures with us. We're all wearing the same sort of t-shirt or whatever. So anyway, that's what we're going to do for you, because I think that's really, really important for us too. So yeah, so going back to the website, as you can see here, we've got an about, so it will tell you all about the event and the history of the event, etc. For those that may not have known anything about it. But there'll also be a little twist this year, which I'm going to come back to in a moment. Remember that. There's a section there about the host, so there'll be a highlight of all the people that get involved with the hosts, and that will be there permanently, so you can get in contact potentially with them if you need to, or if you want to be involved in some form or other, you can reach out to maybe someone in your area or to myself, and we can sort of signpost you in the right direction. The timetable very important and very, very easy to get confused. But there will be a timetable telling you exactly where all the different sections will be and who's hosting at what time and all that sort of stuff. How we do that, not quite sure yet. We may break it down into regions to make it easier timescale wise, or we might not. I don't know, but we'll figure a way around it, and that's what we do. The timetable generally doesn't change too much, so that's pretty good. Once we've got that established and sorted, then it'll be there forever. Discord, I'm going to jump the donates for now. We're going to go to Discord. Discord, obviously, you're thinking, oh, what's that all about? So actually that is social. So that will be our the Facebook page. We'll give you a direct link onto the Facebook page so you can post your pictures, etc., and interact. But also we will be joined, as we have been in the past, with friends from Odds for Heroes on their Discord channel. They're going to open up the Discord channel for you to go and join them and have a hangout while watching what's going on in the madness of the 48 hours across the world. I highly recommend doing it. Those that got involved with it last year really said it was a really great thing to be able to talk to some veterans and beneficiaries and volunteers, as well as interact.
You get to see what some of your donations are doing as well. Yeah,
definitely. So, and also, yeah, like Cole just said, you get the chance. I mean, I think Whitey from America was on there. Definitely, I know he was on there, and he was saying it was really amazing to talk to people and understand, ask those questions. What difference does it make to you? And hearing what the fundraising they've done for several years has meant and done for them personally is a really big thing. So I strongly recommend, if you'll be watching us anyway, I know you will, but if you also want to hang out and interact with people while you're doing it, it's a great thing.
A watch party, sort of thing.
Yeah. It's a good thing. I mentioned about the album. The donate now is exactly that. There'll be 2 links on there for the donate now. Now, with that in mind, you'll be glad to know that the Just Giving page is actually up and running. It's there. That is the link. It's up and running. It went live last night. Yeah. I finally got it up and running. I wanted to make sure it was done before the 1st. Now, I did have a picture, but I didn't upload it. So bear with me while I just flap in the background. Is there any chat and comments that I need?
There's a little bit of chat. So Dieter is asking the question, did James say 44-44? Am I hearing things? So I responded in chat saying that, Dieter, there's a very good chance that James did indeed say 44. And then Julian is just confirming, you're right, Dieter, James got it wrong. And then Dieter says, oh dear. But yes, it is 48-48.org. So this will all be posted up in the mess at some point. So you will get all the links for everything. Well, primarily a link to here, because this is a one-stop shop for everything. Everything will be on this website.
Yeah, that's the idea. If I said 44, I'm so sorry. It's quite possible. My brain does not function as it used to, and it didn't used to work that well anyway to start with. So 48-48.org will be the hub forevermore of this event. So you'll have all the information there you'll ever need.
Yes. For those of us of a certain age, it's what's known as a senior moment.
Yeah. Might be something else, but anyway. So there's the just giving page up and running. Now, I have to say, I'm not going to tell you how much I've put down to hope to raise, because I'm going to ask you to go and look. But I have been bold this year. Normally I'll play it a little bit safe, but the people that have got involved with this every year have just blown us away. So I've gone big and bold this year, because I think it's going to be a big and bold year anyway. And plus also it's throwing a gauntlet down to the Americans, because the Americans, I need to warn you all now, if you're not in the Americas, you need to bear this in mind. The auction, the Americans are destined, they say they are destined to absolutely wipe the floor with how much they take in money for the auctions. And the auction lots will be amazing and all this. I'm pleased, don't get me wrong, lovely, thank you very much for that. But I can tell you that the auctions in other areas will be big and bold. I just hope that we can find the deep pockets as well.
Yes. So at the moment it's 1-1. We got it in 2023. The Americans got it in 2024 by a big margin. So
Very big.
hopefully this year, maybe some other region will get it, but maybe we'll get it back.
I think at the end of the day, what's important and not to lose focus on is that every pound, every dollar, every euro that we raise for the charity makes a massive difference. So that the target is not really relevant, if I'm honest. I've never seen it that way. It's great when you achieve it. It's great when you go over it, and it's great when you go miles over it too. And the response I have from the charity personally, and conversations I have with Malcolm and his wife, they are forever grateful for what you, supporters of this event, do, and everyone that gives their time as well. Everybody that's involved, they just haven't got the words. Every time I speak to them, haven't got the words in which to express their gratitude. So this year we've gone bold, and one of the reasons we've done that is because the Americans have thrown the gauntlet down. Obviously, Steph is going to be in charge of the auctions in UK and Europe and in Australia, and he's been working his absolute cods off, trying to bring in people that we haven't had before. So as it stands at the moment, I can't reveal to everybody what's going on, because we're still waiting for interaction. We were asked, especially by a couple of people, to make sure we made the request really early so they could plan ahead, maybe to get something that you can get your hands on that you won't be able to get anywhere else. Maybe a kit that's not been released yet. It's one of the things that's been muted in past periods. And we have the ability to do that. We have got friends. I'm glad to say.
1 second.
We got friends in manufacturers and businesses that are in that position. If they wish to do it, they can do it. So the more encouragement we can give them, the better the auctions will be. But Steph has been working really hard on that, and it's going to be phenomenal. So I really want to encourage you to make sure, again, save a few pennies if you can. Maybe save some of your Christmas money for the event, because I think it'd be worth it. We will have the time zones difference as usual. So we're going to start in Australia, and we've got our usual team with a couple of new additions, I think, in Australia. Then we're going to come over to Europe and UK. Similar sort of scenario. We're going to have a few new faces doing some of the presenting. We may even have some special guests doing a bit of presenting for very short periods of time, just so they can show their support, which would be brilliant. And then obviously we'll go over to the Americas and Canada, etc. Now my hope is that as every year we can tick another bit of the world map of where people are getting involved in interaction. So the last few years we've had Sweden, we've had Germany, we've had Belgium, Netherlands, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, lots of places. I can't think of anything more. America. I did say America, didn't I? Yeah, America. Lots of places involved. But what we haven't got, I think we had someone from Singapore last year, but what we've never had is anyone from like China, for example, or Brazil, or Argentina, or the Falklands, whatever. So if you're watching this and you live in a place that that I've not mentioned that's been involved in this, and you've got a small model group, or maybe just a friend that you know of, and you want to get involved, let us know exactly where you are. And what we're going to try and do is we're going to do a virtual world map and put a pin in all the different countries in which we're in, so we can see exactly what our coverage is. It's a massive coverage. It really, really touches an awful lot of people, this event. A lot of people can go around in the background and say nothing but watch it. It's a phenomenal amount of people. So if you know somebody that lives in, let's say, in Brazil, maybe they go to your channel or your Facebook page, or they're a member of a group or something that you know, but you know they're a modeler and maybe they'd be interested, drop them a message. We'll put a poster up in the mess. I think it's up in there already. Take a picture of it, share it. make sure you get permission wherever you share it, that you're not going to offend anybody. But, try and get people involved. I'm more than happy for that. If you've got a local hobby shop and they're willing to put a poster up in the window and you're willing to print a poster up for them, or even ask them to print it out for you, do that. Just get it advertised, get it out there, because the more people that interact, the better that auctions are, the more money we raise, the better the event is, etc. The more it builds, and so you see what I'm saying. So the Just Giving page is open, as I said. Just to reiterate, on the 14th of March, on the Friday, it starts at 7:30. The event starts at 7:30, your time zone. And the reason it's your time zone is because the build starts at 8 o'clock, your time zone. So if you're 8 o'clock in Australia, in Canberra, let's say, obviously it's not going to be 8 o'clock in the UK, it'll be way early in the morning. But that's when you start, and you finish 48 hours later. And that way, the 48-hour event is actually more like 72 hours of live streaming, which you won't get anywhere else. So, even if there's just that in itself is a big thing. So there you go. Oh, it's a lot, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
A lot going on.
Yes.
Have a quick look at the chat, see where we're up to. They
so
look
we
like...
got up to yes, so we're up to Julian saying that Dita was right and saying, oh dear.
Yes, about my faux pas.
Yes.
Yes. Like Julian said, your hearing's good. It's good that you check, and your hearing is fine. If I can do your eyesight as well, I'm sure I can figure something out for you. Dieter will obviously be there. He will be good to move for merch. I do think that the RMWK2 via Spring site apparel, goodies, and so on, made locally. Yeah. Well, this is the thing, Dieter. At the end of the day, I don't know who those companies will use, or that company will use to print the stuff within another country. I have no idea. I've got no power over it. All I know is it's going to be good quality. And if it's not good quality, you've got someone to go back to and get it sorted very quickly. So we're going to sort that out. And like I said, we're going to have some outlandish things. If you want a shower screen on there with Malcolm in his birthday suit or something, I don't know, whatever we can figure out. I'm sure Malcolm will be happy with that. Sorry, Malcolm, if you're watching.
Yeah.
So I think that have I done everything I wanted to do? I've talked about that, done that. I think that's sort of where we're at. So in the chat, if you've got any questions, because I've bombarded you with an awful lot of stuff, by all means, let me know. And Dominic straight in with a question. I thought I could see his hand up. Isn't it easier to find some European sponsors because of shipping costs and import from Netherlands are so expensive? Well, it's funny you should say that, Dominic. Now, if anybody, Dieter, if anybody in Europe or is watching this, not just Dieter, because that's a bit unfair of me, knows of a European supplier that wants to throw in their hat to the ring, more than happy to do that. And they can contact Steph or myself, and I'll pass it on to Steph. More than happy to help. That'd be fine. Yes, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have a European auction, because that would mean we'd be running 4 auctions over the event, which would basically mean it would just be a continual auction. So yeah, there is that downside, but it's certainly something in which we can work at. And like I say, if there's people out there, there might be a European distributor watching this thinking, oh, what am I missing out on? Why can't I be involved in that? Well, it's just an email away. It's as simple as that. One thing I didn't say, and something that you guys, if you know somebody in that sort of position, this is the sort of thing in which you can tell them, is that, we talked about this, our website. So one thing I didn't say about is the donators. So it will have a donators page. So everybody that donates to the event will have their logo on this website for 12 months.
Yes.
100%. I guarantee it. Now, the other thing in which we're asking, or will be asking, we haven't done it yet, but we will be asking in the new year, Steph will be in emails, is what we'd really like is we'd like an affiliate link from each company. So, for example, Airfix. Airfix may say, well, yeah, no, we can do that. Sort out an affiliate link. You click on their logo, takes you to the website, their website. You buy whatever it is you want to buy. It doesn't cost you anything more than it would have cost you anyway. But Airfix then give us a donation. So I don't know, let's say 10%. 10% of whatever you buy comes back to us as a donation within that affiliate link. It doesn't cost you a penny, but that's what they can provide. So that means you've got, I think last year we had something like 25, 30 different companies that all gave something around the world. That's 30 companies that you could click on and a donation is made with just you buying stuff throughout the year. But that also means that those companies have got that advertising. They're getting effectively free advertising for what they give, they donate. Now, whether that be a very expensive model or 10% of any sales or for an affiliate link or whatever, I'm not, that's a big thank you, big, great thing for us. But that's the sort of thing I want to generate. I want to generate a community that helps and supports each other throughout the 12 months, not just through a couple of months, but the whole 12 months. So if we can get the companies to do that, maybe, just maybe, we get a little bit more money trickling for the event. It may mean that next year when we do the event, we have an up and running amount that we've got from the affiliate link that we've not accounted for. So we might start the event a couple of £1,000 in the bank before we even open the door, sort of thing. That would be amazing, and certainly helps push that amount that we can generate for the charity as well. So that's the sort of thing I want you to, if you know someone and you want to sell that idea to them, just tell them, it's not just about giving. We don't want you to just give there's a model, thanks very much, see you later. No, we don't want that. We want you to be part of the community. We want that company to be respected by the community in which we uphold and share the values, etc. So
yes.
So that's one big thing. And obviously the website will have the donators, so you'll have all of the companies. They'll all be in alphabetical order. There's no favoritism, alphabetical order, simple as. And then on the auction, you'll have a separate page for the auction by zone, and you'll have the auction lots, which will say, for example, the 172nd Curtis Tomahawk from Airfix, lot 1, lot 2, blah, 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 blah. So then you can go and see what it is you think you'd like to get hold of. Now, hopefully, the list will be in the running order of the auction. However, I can't guarantee that, because right at the last minute, someone might come in with a really, really big juicy something to give away, and we have to slot it in the middle of all the auctions to make it a little bit more exciting or whatever. So that's what I want to do. Is I can't guarantee the running order. Steph's in charge of that anyway. He will try and give you as much notice of the running order as possible, but it does mean we've got to encourage you to stay for the whole auction. So bear with us. As I say, a lot of things are evolving, a lot of things are moving. The web page is that first page is up, it's live right now. All the buttons don't work, and the reason is we're still building all the bits and pieces. They will be released, and I hope most of it will be released by the beginning of the year. Certainly by middle of January, it will definitely be all released, 100%, one way or another. So we'll give you as much notice as possible of what there is, and like I say, there's affiliate links. Hopefully, if we do get some, we'll let you know as soon as possible, because then you can start using that, and that'll start helping generate stuff. Okay, was there any other questions? I'm busy waffling.
No. Just double check.
Just talking about Teespring there. Yeah, no, that's cool, mate. By all means, if there's any help you can think of, that's fine. My merchant man, no, that way. He is. He's on it. We
Would
think
people
we.
like a quick preview of what the merch may look like?
Oh, if you've got something, why not? We could do that.
Just bear
Let me
with
just have a
me.
quick look down the list to make sure I've not missed anything here. So yeah, obviously in Europe, Julian's just saying thoughts of ICM in Ukraine, Revel in Germany. Well, I can tell you that both of those are on board. I can tell that already. How we do the logistics, don't know yet, but yeah, there are others out there as well. So yeah, stay tuned. There's some. I already know there's some pretty amazing stuff coming, and stuff that we talked about. But yeah, so there you go. So yeah, 12 of you watching. If you want to bang something up to have a look at the merch, we can do that.
Just
You've
bear with
thrown
me one
yourself under the
second.
bus. I want to point that out to you. Not
So
I
let
didn't
me
expect that.
throw that there, and we'll go preset. So it's very, very similar to what it was in 2023. Some things are still being tweaked with on this page. So this is by no means final. Oh, there we go. So we are still deciding on a placement of said figure. We've got the 48 as in last year. However, you may notice it is a very slightly different color. So it's still playing on whether to put these to the side like this, where to put this 25, whether that goes on top, you know, angling stuff. We're still playing. So, but it's going to be along very similar to 2023. So yeah, watch this space.
Cool.
We are working on it. So
yeah, quite a lot of work goes into this event, guys. I know you will appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, but especially since the conversation we had about, oh, let's make sure that you don't do everything, James, and that the amount of work that people are doing is breathtaking, really. And all I'm really doing is just going, have you done that? Have you done this? Have you done that? Oh, shut up. That's all I'm doing. Well, a little bit here and there.
Very.
Are we changing the music? No.
No.
No. The music will be the same. However, there may be an addition.
And we have been joined by Tiff saying evening Tiffany.
Hi Tiff.
See you.
Yeah, the music side there is an addition, which I'm in talks with someone for at the moment.
Yes.
But yeah, the usual suspect music will be there because I think we. Do you know what? Funny enough,
it would be missed if it wasn't there.
Yeah, I was actually going to play it in the background during this video, and I thought, no, I couldn't be that cruel because you'd be humming it all the way through Christmas.
We could give people a small, quick reminder. I don't see any issue with that.
It's up to you.
Are you ready, kids? I've got to try and find it. I'm not sure where it is.
Yeah. Do you know what? The great thing about this is that I normally throw you on the bus, and I've not done it once tonight.
It's here somewhere.
Yeah, so ignore that date on there. That's the wrong date because that's obviously this year's.
Yes.
This artwork on here we've not changed. Not yet.
Not yet. No, that will be after we've decided on what the logos and because obviously we've got a design for a cap, t-shirt, mug, maybe a key ring, apron. Yep. So you can't put the same thing on everything because some things don't fit. So no. I can't find this music. You've hidden it. There it is.
There we go.
Oh, there it is.
Have you missed it?
I bet they've missed it.
Oh, I know you've missed it. Right,
there we
go. But yeah, no, that will be back. Skullfish is asking about Mankini. Are we going to?
I can certainly put it on there. It could be a very small logo in a very certain spot.
One thing we won't be doing any nipple badges or anything like that. Health and safety reasons.
Really?
Yeah, no,
Scrap
we're,
that then.
we're not allowed to do those. And after the things that have happened in previous years, so yeah, that's the other thing as well. With what we're trying, what
That's
I'm
a good
trying
one.
to make sure and happen. Yeah, car stickers. What a cracking idea!
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you, Tiff. I
Um,
like that one.
I lost track of what I was saying then. Senior moment, just gone completely. Oh yeah, no. So basically, the reason I pushed to do certain things this year. I say pushed myself, no one else. And this isn't because of any events that have happened over the last 12 months or anything like that. It's purely a case of one thing I have come to the conclusion of is this thing is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and carry on for forever and a day. And for whatever reason, I might not be around. Would that be 100% not around, or just at a wedding, for example, or something else? And it's really unfair to not have the ability for someone else to pick up the gauntlet and carry on with it. So by having the website and having the email addresses that we're going to have and all that sort of stuff, it makes it a little bit more professional, but much more importantly, it means that if for one reason one person of the team isn't around, they can pick the ball up and just keep running. And that's what I want to do. So it's a bit of a legacy thing, not a legacy for me, but a legacy for the group. I want to make a legacy group event because I think it's been going on long enough. It's been supported well enough, and it is worldwide enough for it to be seen that way. And also, I want to make sure that we become an event that people from all around the world want to go to, because they don't have to get on a plane, fly to Europe to go to the world's best European show or UK Telford and all that. It's all online. So that's part of the legacy thing that we want to accumulate this year. Now, I'm going to reveal something. I'm going to throw myself under a bus a little bit here, and Carl knows nothing about this, so I can guarantee this is completely out there.
No.
Right? Now, depending on how you react and how you do this year with this event and all the other bits and pieces that are going on, there is plans afoot for a second event, which will be in conjunction with Malcolm, because Malcolm doesn't know this either yet. So Malcolm will be listening to this going, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" I, myself, Model Officers Mess and Sprue Box Limited want to produce an online scale model show. So like a model show that you go to, but it's all going to be online. And the reason I want to do that is because I truly believe by doing this website, by doing the process in which we're doing, we can get the manufacturers on board and see that they're getting an advert for 12 months, not for a couple of months before a show or being at a show and all that sort of stuff. I truly believe we can create something online where they're going to get a lot more benefit, pound for the buck, so to speak. And I think we should do it. I think we should be the ones that pull that off.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. We may try and figure something in this year as a test bed, but the idea being that 2026 will be a show, a proper show.
A live go.
Yeah, a live show. And if we can pull that off, we're going to start pulling in the likes of Edward for doing stuff, creating an event in which they have stalls, an online stall in which you can go and talk to them, buy stuff and all that sort of stuff. But there'll be how to use their products and all this sort of stuff, and maybe even product reveals. So that is the plan for 2026.
Maybe
that doesn't
demonstrations on things as well.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean at all that the birthday bash will fade away. Never, ever. As long as I'm drawing breath, and I'm pretty certain the admins are drawing breath, the event will carry on every year. But in the year, within a year, we'll create a second event which will be just as big and bold as this event. So the more you put into it, guys, the more you're involved, the more input right now, telling us what you want, will make sure that we provide what you want, and we really achieve some big things. And of course, Malcolm at Models for Heroes, they will be involved because I want to generate money for them, and I want to see the beneficiaries and volunteers be involved and get something back for that. So that's the plan. I'm pretty certain I hadn't told Cole about that. So
we have talked about this.
We have in the past.
12 months ago, yes.
Yeah, we talked about it in the past, and it's not something in which we chose to do at that time.
No, we did flesh some of it out, like we were talking about, but yeah.
Yeah.
But we have been joined by Dave Farrell.
Oh, hi, Dave.
He's 2 thumbs up, but he is a Derby fan, so...
It's Christmas in good spirit.
Yeah, in good spirit. We'll
let him off. Yeah, New Year we'll give you a load of crap for it. But anyway, that's the idea.
That's saying that's a pretty good idea, especially for those who may like to go to a model show but can't because of one reason or another. Yeah, some people might not be able to handle the social anxiety of actually walking around a show and being so close to many weirdos.
Yeah,
So it could be a good way of getting people into what a show is.
Or just frightened of meeting me in a show and getting hugged by me. I think that was probably what you meant by the weirdo comment. I don't know. But yeah, that's the idea. That's what we want to achieve. And I think I believe truly that it's just that easy to do. It's not, but you know what I mean? I think it's not something that's not a pie in the sky thing. It's something we can achieve really easily. Mm-hmm. Along with that, what I hope to do, and the reason I'm mentioning it now, is because I have already had a conversation with someone from IPMS UK about the idea, and they seem very open to it. So we may go down the membership route as a group, maybe. I don't think we will, but we might do. I'm not sure, but that's something in which we can look at. But I certainly want to make sure that all the modelling groups around the UK and in Europe, Americas, Australia, etc., will all want to get involved, and they'll all have their little table room for them to display their wares and have a chat about their groups and all that sort of stuff. And the idea is to really push the hobby and get as many people involved in it. We're no longer sat in rooms by ourselves. There's no reason why we can't celebrate and shout loudly. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to do that 100%. 2026. And like I say, 2025, there is a possibility. It's already penciled in my diary. Not that Carl knows that at all, but that we may do a little tester. Don't be wrong. It's not going to be a weekend. I wouldn't think. I can't believe I'm saying that because I probably will make it a weekend. But
I think if we want to get it to a point where it is very much like an IPMS model show, I think you would need to do it either for at least 12 hours or maybe even 2 8 hours.
Well,
a Saturday and a Sunday. The
bigger problem we've got, Carl, is obviously, we're talking right now, I hope we're talking to people all around the world. So an 8-hour show is not going to cover everyone around the world, is it?
No.
So it's going to be longer than that. So it's really a case of trying to figure out quite how the best or way that works.
Yeah, it's one of those that you have to gauge how many people get involved, because if it grows and grows and grows, and it could end up being a full-on 48 hours with hosts all around the world.
Could be, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. What I would love is no different to what I've said for the last 2 years. I'd love to have a studio with a host for the 48 hour, and I really truly believe that this show idea, there's no reason why you've effectively got lots of little studios all over the place that could be open at any time. The timetable in that would be absolutely mind-blowing, but it's organisable. It's something in which we can do.
Yes.
But as also the other thing in which to take into mind for this is that Models for Heroes is the UK-based charity that we support, but you have a European one. We may well by 2026 have one in America. They're thinking about putting it together. People talking about it and how they're going to do that, etc. So again, if we're using that format, there is a chance we could incorporate that within the show as well. So there's lots of different levels in which we can go, lots of thoughts and processes that we've got to go through, but we need your input. And that was the other thing I got down on my list, was your input. Your input is really, really important for everything we do. The group builds, the 48 and 48, the potential show, anything we do. You must interact and tell us what you think. If you have a bright idea one day driving down the road and you think, "Oh, that's really zany," drop me an email and tell me, because the chances are I'll go, "Oh, I love that. That's brilliant."
Yeah. So catch up with chat.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Farrell said, "Good evening. Rams have thick skins."
They do,
but not Derby fans. Julian is saying, James, RE the online model show, maybe group builds of different
manufacturers.
Yeah, to show off what people can do with their kits, judged by the manufacturers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the future, they may even provide the kits. Maybe not provide the kits, but may very well provide prizes.
Yes. Now, I'll tackle that a little bit in that I can't give too much away, but one of the conversations I've had is along those lines with the manufacturer. And even to the point where, I'm glad this come up, because I've actually missed something out of what was important to tell everyone. We had a conversation with Airfix end of last year, because we had this zany idea that what we could do is we could pick 2 kits as part of the birthday bash theme event, which allowed you to either, let's say, for example, a Sherman tank and a Spitfire. Don't worry about the scale, but those items, right? You could buy one of those kits and build it out of the box. Bish bash boss, done. That's your build. Or you could build something that's neither a Spitfire or a Sherman tank, but using parts of the kits for your build. So a scratch build that has, I don't know, the fuselage of a Spitfire, for example, on tracks, whatever. Now, the conversation we had with Airfix was that that was quite difficult to achieve, because I was looking for their support. I was looking for their the people that buy kits from them, to their support, the shops, and it was a way of trying to increase sales for everybody, so everybody got involved, basically. And we come to a conclusion that was a little bit too much to do. However, I've spoken to manufacturers since, and sort of muted ideas past them, and they're very receptive to all sorts of ideas, even to the point that, touching on that comment from Julian, where they may not give you the kit free, but what they might do is they might give you a special price for the kit if you buy it through them. So, say for example, and Airfix is not the person I'm speaking about, but I'm going to use them as a maybe what if moment. So I speak to Airfix, and Airfix decide that they're going to do a 148 Spitfire as the kit of choice. And instead of it costing you, I don't even know what they cost them are. So let's say they cost 20 quid normally. If you buy them from them direct, it costs you £15 and £2.50 goes to the charity, for example. I don't know. Or something along those lines. Those are the sort of things in which manufacturers may be willing to do. And I've had those conversations with different manufacturers where they've gone, quite like that idea. We need to think about that and work out margins and blah, blah, blah. But they're open to the idea. So all those sort of ideas from you guys as to what you'd like to do, we can put those to those people. And like I say, going back to the original Airfix comment, would bear in mind it's not just UK. We were talking about Europe, across the world. And Dale said to me, I might be able to do something in England, James, but across the world, that's just too much. That'd be way too much to do. So we're all thinking about generating those sort of ideas, though. So yeah, keep those ideas coming. I really love the comment from Tiffany. I had a comment the other day in relation to Sprue Box, talking about the boxes in which we do.
It's a Mojo box.
Mojo box, yeah.
I think that was Julian again.
It was Julian again, yeah. So lots of those things, they're all really, really useful and really, I'm always open to try something and do something different, because I think it's really, really important for this hobby that we do things that different processes, different things at different times, and we don't get stuck in a rut. I think that's really, really important. So anyway, we've been talking for about 50-60% longer than I expected to be talking to you guys for. Carl's working tomorrow, so he needs to go. It's an hour and 20, 11 minutes.
So
People
we'll
watch.
just finish up on the chat. So Dave Farrell is having a good laugh about us taking the mickey out of Derby fans. Don't worry about it, David. I'm a Port Vale fan, so you know where I sit. Dieter is saying, I remember clubs here did it, but I participated in the Jet Sea category with my Idle Master aircraft. So yeah, there are clubs in Europe doing that sort of thing. So
yeah.
And Julian, David, probably not best to not mention the Ram's horns. That could go horribly wrong. Indeed.
Yes.
And that is us caught up with chats. Like you say, some really good interaction tonight. Some fantastic ideas, and I'm sure James will take them on board and bend my ear about them and how to do them. And we'll, good.
I think at the end of the day, as I've said a couple of times, and I'll just reiterate, the club is the group is my group, yes, but it's your group. It's not about me. It's not about Carl. It's not about the admin team. It's about everybody that's involved and everything that everybody does. I've got some amazing helpers, volunteers, admins, etc., and just participants within the group, and I don't want to ever lose that for any reason. But the group is there for you, and however we build the group, however we go forward year on year, is down to you, down to the interaction you make. I can steer you in different directions and try and give you inspiration, no pun intended, and feed the carrot, so to speak. But it really is down to you and what you put in. So if these are the things that you want, let me know. If there are things that I'm not doing, or the group is not doing, that you want, let me know. Ideas that will kind of help generate income for Models for Heroes, let me know. I'm more than happy to assist. 48-48.org is the website where all the information for the 48-hour build will be there. And like I said, the Just Giving page is open. Please share it as many places as you can, get as many people involved as you can.
Merch is coming soon, so Dieter says, I appreciate the time spent on learning where it's going to go. Happy to help. And Skullfish is saying, exciting times ahead. And Julian Hall is saying, great idea, Tiff. Telfer, for example, would be a pain in the rear due to distance, health, logistics, etc. Yes. Yeah. And David is saying, love a good claret. On that note, is us caught with chat, and that is us. I'm going to shut James up now because he'll start giving away stuff that we're not allowed to talk about. So we are going to say thank you very much for being here. Anything else before we go, James?
No, seriously, thank you so much. And thank you so much, so many people watching. Like I say, it's the Sunday before Christmas. Please, Merry Christmas to you all.
Yes.
Spend some time with your loved ones. And if you're not, just remember, as I raise my glass at the Christmas dinner, I'll be thinking of you all.
Yes, and if you are working, thank you, especially if you are emergency services, police, fire, ambulance, anything like that. Thank you very much, and hopefully you do enjoy some time with your family over the Christmas period.
Indeed. Cool. Okay, until next time.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you all soon.
Bye.
Bye.